Relay races that are taking place.
Yeah, there's a lot. I don't know how many times I've said this. If we could only harness all the energy that we see in some of these videos of the kids having a good time and bring it here to the legislature, you guys could have a budget done in no time at all.
Right. Even the teachers participated. I understand they won the relay race this past season.
Uh-oh. I don't know what the kids are thinking about that. Maybe a rematch next year.
They also had a DJ who's also a parent, Alfonso Rojas, who played music during the event to inspire the young athletes. They play hula races, tennis.
Yeah.
Yep, there you go, the hula hoop. And as I mentioned, the Gotham PTA does a great job with the food and the refreshments for the children. The field is a day of constant activity and action.
I am getting tired out just from watching all this running around and activity.
Right? They got a beautiful day.
God bless the teachers for being able to keep up. And not only keep up, but win some of the relay races.
And you know, Mike, and part of our thing up here, even in the state legislature, this anti-obesity thing that we're starting to focus on a little bit, the more exercise our children get, the more healthy they'll be. And it's really a priority, and it's good to see them have days dedicated to fitness and exercise.
It was President Kennedy, I know, one of your idols, who started the whole Fitness in the Schools program. And right now here at the state capitol, there are debates taking place on healthy schools. It's not only the fitness part of it, but
right.
the good nutrition in the schools, making sure the cafeterias are serving the right thing, and trying to find that right balance where Albany, again, is not mandating one thing that's going to be a burden to the cafeterias, but somehow finding some kind of middle ground that promotes better living on the part of the students.
That's one of the issues that are being discussed as we sit here today, filming this show in the last week of the session. Healthy schools legislation.
Important thing for anyone to consider. And of course, as the educational, we continue to look at the educational community in the Elmont area, we're going to now go along on a field trip. This is one of the school's classes that are taking a trip to the Cradle of Aviation. And I think this has got to be one of the big draws, probably for a good portion of Long Island, Tom Alfano.
It sure is, and it's coming into its own after some years of struggling. The word has gotten out that it's a wonderful destination on Long Island. We have a rich history in aviation, and each school in the Elmont School District has a special day at the Cradle of Aviation. It was a $10,000 grant I was able to secure, and it developed students learn about math, science, and aeronautics and higher technologies. It's one of the premier science museums in the state, and every sixth grader in Elmont gets to go there. And to date, we've sent 6,000 children to the center in this program 4 years ago that we began.
You saw that big blue plane that was overhead as the kids walked into the building. That's a Blue Angel jet fighter. And, you know, it doesn't take much but displays like that to get the kids' attention and, you know, really kind of draw them into the entire program.
Exactly. There's the Wright brothers replica of one of their planes, and they even see the F-14 fighter planes. Jets.
And I think I saw a space shuttle craft in there, too. They really get quite an overview of the whole history of flight.
It's a great day. I mean, it runs the gamut from the beginning to the current, and it's really well done. And as I said, it's becoming a destination for many visitors to the Long Island region.
I saw some lunch in there. That's always good. Lunch, an important part of the day. We're just talking about nutrition and making sure the kids are eating the right things. There's also an IMAX theater at this location, and they get to see one of those huge IMAX presentations based on flight. I guess it's a mission to Mars.
And that's truly a great event. They love that. I mean, it's like one of those Disney rides, essentially.
Yeah,
it's fun.
That is terrific. And as we continue on here, taking our look at what's going on throughout the Elmont community, we go back to fitness and the need to keep kids active, and how important that is to promote healthy beings and healthy learning habits. And we're going to really tell a pretty interesting story right now visually with a report on what was a sad condition. You see right there the basketball courts at the Dutch Broadway school. They were in pretty sad shape here.
Yeah, I mean, kids themselves told me about the condition of the courts, and they said they were terrible, and they were often flooded, and there were cracks, and the pavement was buckling, and it wasn't fun to play ball on them. And I worked with Walt Askinoff, who's the principal.
There's some of the cracks we're looking at right there. I mean, the ball's not going to bounce too clean. And then The help came.
That's right. Al Harper, the superintendent, convinced me that a facelift was necessary with new pavement, and we were able to secure a $40,000 state grant to the school district, and you see the work being done there. And took 10 dump trucks to fill the asphalt to pave the courts that we now have today.
There's nothing better than watching big trucks get the work done. I don't know any little kid or anybody who's young at heart that doesn't like watching the big machinery get the job done. Well, look at that. I mean, this is all happening. I mean, we're condensing it quite a bit here for you folks so we can show you the pouring of the asphalt and then the steam rolling and all that to get at look at that.
Wow, what a difference.
Isn't that wonderful? I bet the kids are thinking that's pretty good.
That's what it's all about. Like you said, it's about fitness and having positive activities to round off their educations and giving them a place to recreate that's safe, secure, and well kept.
As we get a last look at the expanse now of the basketball courts and how nice they look, it is worth noting that we're going to take good advantage of those courts soon, and we're going to be holding a Tom Alfano basketball tournament. This is a 3-on-3 tournament that's being held.
Right.
The first annual Elmont Cup. That's terrific.
3-on-3, July 18th, grades 4 through 10. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be at the Dutch Broadway Schools, expanded and improved court, starting at 10:30 on July 18th. And there's nothing better than this. The event is free. I mean, what more do you want?
Right.
And you got some excellent food that's going to be there. And anybody who's interested in finding out more about how the program works, or if you want to figure out about how you can participate, you can just contact Assemblyman Alfano at the address you see there on the screen at the Franklin Square office. You can pick up your phone and dial 437-5577, or you can drop an email at the address you see there on the screen too, alfanot@assembly.state.ny.us, and the Assemblyman staff will be able to give all the information that is necessary for taking part and finding out more about the tournament and when it's going to happen.
It should be a lot of fun. And you don't have to participate to show up. You could root them on. You can come and enjoy some, lunch. It'll be a nice day.
Yeah, and that sounds like a good time and a great use of that new facility, too. Back to the classrooms, if you will, and that we're going to take a look now at one of the great programs in the Elmont School District, and that's the Model UN program. This is something, of course, that we've talked about in the past here on this program, and it was all put together by one of the bedrocks of the Elmont community, and that's Lee Marcus.
Yeah, he's an extraordinary person. He's been doing it for years, and he really trains these young people, and they become very well versed at the rules of the United Nations. There's Superintendent Harper. Before that, we saw Aubrey Phillips, the school board member. Oh, there's our man, Lee Marcus.
Getting it done.
He's really
Look
done
at
a
that.
great job.
Great displays there that really ties the program together for the kids, all the different flags representing the countries that are involved in the UN. And there you are addressing the children. And then it's time for the kids themselves to make their presentations.
They do a great job. I mean, in the recent past, Elmont Memorial High School went to The Hague in the Netherlands and won a contest, a tournament for their Model UN. You see these kids, they start young and they continue throughout their education in the Elmont community, and they're really phenomenally skilled at this.
And as we see so often, the kids present themselves so well. They are prepared. They know the issues, and they make the presentation. They are not afraid to stand up and to let their voices be heard on, the issues that are important to them.
Yeah, and this is taking place on a Saturday.
On a Saturday.
Exactly.
Extra time. Part of their free time that they take to come in and take part. And you look at the crowd that participated in that. I think that's one of the most important things to note about the entire day.
It's really something special, and it's, as a parent, you see the motivation of these young people, and many of them are new Americans, which is a theme of mine. I mean, I see the vibrancy and I see the dedication to learning and to fulfilling their dream. They don't take for granted the benefits that we have in this great country. They're taking full advantage of the education. They really are. They're soaking it up and really looking for their place in American society.
It was only a few months ago that you came here to the State Assembly with a resolution that some of the kids back home helped you put together, talking about the genocide in Darfur, Sudan. And that comes out of that kind of program where kids get the knowledge that they need to really understand what else is going on in the greater world around them.
And Mike, there was a march right down Elmont Road to bring to light the atrocities in Darfur. And when I tell